Hello, welcome to Isasnora Snores by Carol L. Power, published by Black Rose Writing. Here, we take snippets from the book and bring them to life. The last time we left Isasnora up in her tree staring at a strange creature. She was lonely because her friend, the giant mongoose, had left. Her parents were trying to teach her their trades, but it did not go well. Who was in Isasnora's tree? Let's listen to find out. Isasnora stared at the intruder, a big, fat, orange slug. It trembled a little before opening its mouth to speak.
It's rude to stare.
You were staring at me first.
Aha! You do speak the native tongue. What is all that wacky you were speaking with mongoose? Jigga jigga? Flam flam?
Isasnora blinked several times as she listened to his rude questioning. She could smash him with her fists in an instant. It would be messy since he was quite chubby. But Isasnora had touched all sorts of icky stuff in the forest, like worms, snakes, and millipedes.
I see that murderous look in your eyes, little girl. And mind you, I'm one tough slug. I might not have a shell like my relatives, but I have my own form of protection.
This funny creature was certainly unpleasant. Isasnora decided to climb down the tree, but she stopped. This was her tree. Who did this slug think he was? She clambered back up and squinted her eyes.
You're trespassing in Slew.
You and your family are trespassing in my kingdom. I am the great and noble King Lovel. I rule this forest and all its inhabitants.
After the words floated to Isasnora's ears, she began to cry. Her tears splashed down onto the creature. King Lovel pulled out a tiny umbrella painted with many brilliant colors. Isasnora stopped whimpering to study it. From the middle, purple petals stretched into hundreds of reddish-orange triangles.
Like it? My ancestors brought several of these from China. Without shells, they do nicely as shelters, especially when little girls cry. Why are you hiding in this remote location anyway?
We were banished from the kingdom Kalen because of my loud snoring.
I've heard nothing odd, though I felt strange vibrations at night. I used to think it was Mongoose, but he left. Now that I know it's you, there's no need to worry.
By the time the words reached Isasnora's ears, she had fallen asleep, and she began to snore loudly. A bird, which had perched on the tree limb waiting to eat King Lovel, fluttered crazily out of the tree and twitched on the forest floor. The snoring did not affect King Lovel, who thought it would be a good time to crawl into the girl's hair to get a ride down the tree. Lovel was creeping slowly when Isasnora woke up and saw him perched on her nose, staring right into her eyes.
What are you doing?
The bird, freed from Isasnora's snoring, swooped back into the tree, eyeing King Lovel. Apparently, This bird had no idea it was about to eat the king of the forest. Isasnora scooped up Lovel and dropped him into her dress pocket, which was full of crumbs, dirt, and clumps of mud. Isasnora climbed down the tree. When she landed, she set the slug on a large boulder next to the banks of the river. The next day, Isasnora returned to the boulder. Lovel was sunning himself. Isasnora perched next to him, but a gray mouse appeared. Afraid it was going to eat King Lovel, Isasnora snatched the creature.
Let me go! I'm the interpreter.
The mouse squirmed so much that Isasnora dropped it into the raging river. The mouse floated inside the mouth of a large rainbow trout, who swallowed it. The fish sneezed, and the mouse landed back on the rock. Isasnora laughed. This was more exciting than the stories of court jesters. The mouse fluffed its fur.
Try to help a friend, and what does it get you? Trouble, I say, trouble.
The mouse held out her tiny paw in a polite gesture.
My name is Zainab. King Lovel, sluggard-smith, requested I be your translator since he speaks so slowly. I can't afford to have you fall asleep and repeat the disaster that occurred yesterday.
Disaster?
When you fell asleep, all the forest animals woke up and began their horrible scratching and howling. You would have thought they were infested with fleas.
Isasnora pictured all the animals scratching, which made her body tingle in disgust as she imagined bugs crawling over her skin.
Mongoose told me the animals all have lice.
I beg your pardon. I take great pride in keeping myself and kin clean and tidy. I have the neatest burrow in the forest.
I'm sorry. How can you be King Lovel's interpreter?
King Lovel and I have an understanding, but with your silly language, we do not understand you.
The words hurt. On the surface, everything around Isasnora seemed happy, but inside her heart wept, for she knew why she spoke that odd language.
No one understands me. How would you feel if your family was sent away from their home because of you? I hate the kingdom and what it did to us, so I reject anything associated with it, including the language.
The tiny creatures looked at each other with perplexed expressions. King Lovel spoke with Zainab, translating.
Oh, it's never good to hate. This is your life now. Use what you've been given to make your world better.
Use what I've been given? Snoring? It's a curse. No one wants me around.
Both animals did not know what to say. Zainab scurried down to her burrow and returned with a tiny thimble.
Oh, would you care for some tea? It's actually a mixture of weeds and twigs, but it's very tasty.
Isasnora did not want to seem rude, so took the tiny thimble and drank the drop of Zainab's tea. She tried not to make an awful face, for the flavor was terrible, but she smiled.
Very nice.
Her expression and words gave King Lovel an idea. He spoke to Zainab, who translated.
King Lovel said that when you get over your anger, you will have the gift of politeness. That is something you can give to the world.
Isasnora pondered the words as she watched Zainab's babies scurry up to their mother.
I must go take care of my children now. Goodbye.
Lovel also left. Isasnora said her goodbyes. She wondered if she would see King Lovel and Zainab again. Back inside her cottage, her parents asked her who she was speaking with. When she said King Lovel and Zainab, her parents grew worried. Isasnora changed after meeting King Lovel and Zainab. For one thing, she stopped using her silly language. She also tried to be more polite and not complain. Her parents were thankful for these changes and surprised Isasnora with an announcement. Her grandmother Rosalind, her aunt and uncle, and her cousins were coming to the forest Pidiole. Join us next time as we meet Isasnora's extended family and learn how she celebrates her birthday. You may purchase the entire book of Isasnora Snores at Black Rose Writing, Barnes & Noble, and Amazon. I'm Elizabeth Power, your narrator. Thank you for listening. Cheers!